The 4-4-2 is the best attacking formation in FC 24. Using these tactics, you'll be playing high tempo, high attacking football with high scoring games. Honestly, ever since I started using this formation, I've been scoring 5, 6, 7 goals every single game. And these just might be the most enjoyable and fun tactics I've ever made. Before we get into the tactics, don't forget, if you want to keep up to date with all the best tips and tricks for FC 24, make sure to hit subscribe with the notification bell on. And if you could drop a like on this video, it does help me out massively. The support on the videos lately has been insane, so I do really appreciate that. And when you do try these tactics, make sure to come back to this video and let me know in the comments what you thought of them. I really am trying to make the best tactics possible, and with your feedback I can really take things to the next level. So let me know in the comments what you liked, what you disliked, so I can improve upon these tactics. So starting off with defensive style, you want to keep that on balance. None of the other defensive styles seem to work as well as balance. None of them seem to be meta, and some of them seem to even hurt the way you play, so balance is the perfect combination of everything. Down to width, you want to bring this down slightly to around 45, 40 is about right. Down to depth, now 72 depth still is an effective way to play this game. If you don't already know, having your depth on 72 will make your players press automatically, and they'll also perform an offside trap without you needing to do anything. The risk when using 72 depth is you're so aggressive you can get caught out fairly easily. What you may not know, if you bring it down slightly to 65, your players will still press automatically. Your defensive line will just sit back that slight bit so you won't be countered as often. 72 depth is still a way you can play this game, but for me, I find it does not suit my playstyle. It honestly hurts me way more than it helps, so for me, I honestly recommend 65 is about good. Down to build-up play, now I've been playing around with this quite a lot, and I find fast build-up play does kind of work if you can keep up with it, but in all honesty, there's no beating balance. Down to chance creation, and by far the best chance creation in this game is direct pass. So what exactly does direct pass do? Direct pass helps your team push forward when on the ball and traps your opponent's team within their own box. Direct pass is so important for this formation. I'll explain in more detail later on exactly how you can make the most out of these tactics, but essentially direct pass is going to help you push your opponent's team into their own half, creating so much space for your midfield to push forward, and then the opportunity for you to get your goals comes from anywhere. Your left mid, right mid, your two strikers, and even your midfielders help out massively in this formation, which you want to bring this down quite narrow. Around 40 is about good. I've been testing it out, going down to 30. I do quite like it, but to get the most out of this formation, 40 is about good. Players in the box, bring this up to 6. Honestly, I wouldn't put it any higher than that. 6 in most formations is about right. Corners and free kicks. Now, I always said put this to whatever you want, but I've been getting so many goals since the new update from corners. I would really recommend you guys to put corners on 3. Essentially, you want to press RB or R1 to bring your player forward, to play it out short, and from there play to the edge of the box. And what I always say is you want your opponent's team trapped within their own half. Well, when you get a corner and you play it out like this, you have your opponent's team completely trapped in their own half, and you have them exactly where you want them. So whenever I do get a corner, I look at it as an opportunity to reset. It's a way for you to get your opponent exactly where you want them, and then the game is completely in your control again. When you just take a corner, normally there's a huge chance for your opponent to win the ball back, but when you play it out short, you're in control of the game, and a lot of the time you will get a goal within the next 1 or 2 minutes from a corner when playing it out short. So for your strikers, for me, I have my left striker here with Pele. It doesn't matter if it's your left striker or right striker. I have this one as my left striker because I like to cut in on the right with Pele and take the finesse shots. So you want to have him on stay central, stay forward, and get in behind. This striker is the one you're going to get the majority of your goals from. And where are these assists coming from? Mainly from your right striker. You want to have your right striker on stay central and come back on defense. Remember I talked earlier about how important direct pass is to this formation? Well, this is where it all comes into play. My left striker Pele, set on getting behind, is making them runs in behind, forcing my opponent's defense to drop back. From there, I created all of this space for my right striker Puskas to pick up the ball and distribute to my left mid, my right mid, my striker. He can even give it back to the midfield where there's plenty of space. So it's important when picking out the right striker, make sure you're picking a striker who can, yes, finish, have good dribbling, good pace, all that stuff you want, but the passing stat is so important on this striker. I would even recommend playing someone like Odegaard in this position, who has that good finish and good pace, good dribbling, dribbling and incredible passing, but he has them play styles that would make him absolutely incredible in this position. If you could get someone like Odegaard in this position who has that incisive playstyle plus, also has that finesse playstyle plus, but remember this striker does play more like a cam. He will get up into the box, he will score goals, but he does drop into that midfield a bit, so keep that in mind when picking a player for this position. Moving on to your left and right mid, you want to have them on comeback on defense. You could have this on balance if you wanted to. They do come back and defend anyway, but for me, for that little bit of extra security, I like to have this on comeback on defense. Cut inside and get into the box for crosses. You do not want to have these on get in behind. Since the new update, getting behind really does mean they will try their best to get in behind, and you don't really want that with this formation. You want your midfielders there available for the ball. Your striker's going to get in behind to take the pressure of the defense away anyway, so your striker's doing that job. You want your midfielders in line with the ball, cutting inside, making themselves available for that pass. And when you're getting down the wing with your left mid, for example, you'll always find your right mid is in that perfect position for a cross. Because they're on get into the box for crosses, they're always available on that back post, and because they're on cut inside, you'll find that there is going to be this extra space on the wing that's not really being used. So I really encourage you guys to get used to using this feature in the game. When you press up on the D-pad, then hit left, your left and right back will start getting forward. So we do have our left and right back set to stay back while attacking and overlap, but when you do hit up and left on the D-pad, that overwrites that, so that completely changes it. Your left and right back will start getting forward, and this is something I really encourage you to get used to using. You need to integrate this into your game, so that way you can be defensively solid when you need it, but when you need that extra goal, when you've gone down a goal or two and you need that help, you can turn this feature on. Your left and right back will start getting forward, and then all of a sudden you have 7 attackers for your opponent to try to deal with. So up on the D-pad and left, you really need to start bringing this into your game if you're not already. And then your 2 centre mids, you want to have one of these on stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box for crosses, and cover centre. Now make sure you're picking a defensive player here. I've Douglas Luiz in this position, who has that intercept plus, which is so important for a CDM in this game. Even though I have Havertz who has better defensive stats than Douglas Luiz, I'd much rather play Douglas Luiz in that defensive role because of the intercept plus. Playstyles are so important in this game when picking out positions. I would honestly value them way more than stats, so just remember when you're picking out your CDM in this team, or I suppose defensive midfielder, you want to pick someone who has intercept plus is probably the most important playstyle, but other defensive playstyles will come in handy. And for your other centre mid, I have Havertz in this position, who has, like I said, very good defensive stats, but his playstyles suit this position so well. Technical dribbling playstyle plus and the finesse playstyle plus make him the perfect box-to-box midfielder. And yes, he does have 90 plus defending, which is very handy when I need it, but mainly I'm looking at the attacking side of Havertz. So whoever you're putting in this position, make sure, yes, they can do a good job defensively, but you want to look at their attacking stats more so. This is another position you'll find you're getting a lot of your goals from. This centre mid position, he's always breaking forward and looking for the ball at the edge of the box, and he's always open and available. So I really need to stress, yes, you need to look at defensive stats on this card, but make sure you're picking players who have good shooting, good dribbling and good pace. And for him, you want to have him stay on the edge of the box and cover centre. And that's everything. If you use these tactics, make sure to let me know in the comments how you found them, and let me know how I can improve on them.